I don't know what it is, guys, but whenever I'm on vacation, Riot nerfs Wukong. The last time they nerfed Wukong, I was on vacation. This time they nerfed Wukong, I was on vacation. Feels like they are like, hey guys, Kick just left his place. Let's nerf Wukong, man. So I guess I have to stay here and never be on vacation so I can protect the monkey, you know what I'm saying? Alright guys, today we're gonna discuss the upcoming nerfs on patch 11.12 because a lot of you asked me about my opinion. I'm gonna tell you my opinion in this video, guys, and also I'm gonna back up my opinion with some numbers because I did some calculation here and there. We're gonna dive deep into that, guys, but before we do that, actually, let me ask you one question. The question of this video would be, where do you like to play the Wukong? On the top lane? Is it the mid lane? Is it the bot lane? Is it the jungle? Because I'm trying to figure out where you guys prefer to play this monkey. So please go ahead in the comment section and type in, if you like to play him on the top lane, hashtag top Kong. Mid lane, hashtag mid Kong. Bot lane, hashtag bot Kong. And in the jungle, if it's the jungle, hashtag jungle Kong, guys. Okay, I'm trying to figure out. Please go ahead and do that. Please don't forget the hashtag, because this way I can find the comments much easier than without the hashtag. All right, guys, so let's start the video. So let's talk about the nerfs. Let's read them. AD per level will be lowered from 4 to 3.5. Q a bonus. AD ratio 50 will be lowered from 50 to 45%, guys. So these are the nerfs, okay? And a lot of you just freaked out because of that. And I was like, what is your problem, dude? These nerfs are basically nothing. Basically, they are nothing. They're not gonna do anything. Maybe Wukong's win ratio will go down by 1%. Maybe. Because I'm pretty sure this will do nothing to Wukong, okay? Because these nerfs are not addressing the issue with Wukong, okay? The issue of Wukong is not the damage, because his damage is low already, it's not really high. So I don't know what the balance team is smoking. I don't know what they try to accomplish with that. The damage on Wukong is not the issue, all right? He has some other problems. I mean, the whole kit, the whole design is just toxic with the double knock-up, and he has too much utility, and this is the issue of Wukong, not the damage though. All right, but we're gonna talk about that in a bit, guys. To be fair, guys, Wukong's win ratio is high. It was high. It is high, around 53%, 54%, and they didn't touch him until now. For so long, they didn't touch him. For so many patches, they just ignored him, even though his win ratio was so high. I know that you don't that you not only should balance champions around the win ratio, but the win ratio is a really important indicator whether a champion is doing good or not. So from that perspective, Riot gave us a very long time to enjoy this monkey, to enjoy this champion, and climb with this champion. So it's only fair to say right now, okay, hey guys, his win ratio is just too high. He's doing too good on any role. On any role, he's doing too good. We gotta nerf him now. All right. So from that perspective, it is only fair to come up with some nerfs. What I do find funny though is the timing of these nerfs, because what Riot always does is they come up with some broken ass items or buff some items, and then they see, oh shit, some champions are doing so good with these items, we gotta nerf the champions. All right, so they kind of creating the problem with the items, and then they are like, oh shit, this champion is doing too good, let's tune him down, okay? And then after that, after they have nerfed the champions that can abuse these items very good, they go ahead and nerf the items. All right, so it's kind of a double nerf, and this is what I don't like about these nerfs. So back then, I'm pretty sure you remember, guys, when they came up with Stormrazor. Stormrazor was such a broken item, and I was the first guy on YouTube, all right? The first guy on YouTube who came up with the video building this item on Wukong, because it was like that. If you weren't in a combat for like 1.5 seconds, your next attack would critically strike for 100%. And I was like in this video, this item is made for Wukong, because all you had to do is like you stealth in, E on the target, auto attack, crit, boom. All right, into Q, into ult, one shot. All right, this item was so broken. And what they did then is they nerfed the champions. Caps played them with Stormrazor, one-shotted everyone. They were like, okay, we gotta nerf Wukong. We gotta nerf the assassins in general because they are doing too good with these items. So they came up with some broken items like Duskblade, Stormrazor. Nerfed the champions that built these items. And after these nerfs, they nerfed the runes. And after nerfing the runes, they finally acknowledged, okay, we gotta do something about the item because the item is simply too broken, so let's nerf Stormrazor. They reworked Stormrazor. So this is like the same thing happening here again. Alright, so Wukong was one of the champion that abused, like you can say, Divine Sunra. Divine Sunra is really good on Wukong. So what they did is they buffed Divine Sunra, and I was like, weeks ago, I was like, okay, if they buff Divine Sunra and Wukong's win ratio is on 53% already, they will nerf Wukong because his win ratio will even be higher, guys. So what happened is they buffed Divine Sunra. Wukong did even better now, and then they came up with these nerfs on Wukong. So the same thing is happening, just like with Stormrazor. So the next step of Riot would be they nerf Wukong. They nerf all the champions that can abuse Divine Sunra. And then what they're gonna do is they're gonna nerf Divine Sunra, and we're gonna stay with these nerfs. This is what Riot always does. And maybe they're gonna nerf Conqueror as well. You never know. Because they also like to nerf the rule pages. This is how Riot always balances things, man. And I hate it. I just hate it, man. I just hate it. Even though these nerfs means nothing. I'm gonna show you the numbers, as I said. I hate the way they balance champions and items. I just hate it. It's so stupid. But hey, it is what it is, guys. Let's dive deep into that now. So there are two parts of this nerf. So this one over here, the first part is AD per level 4 goes down to 3.5, is directly addressed to Divine Sunra, because Divine Sunra does more damage the more base AD you have, okay? And they are nerfing the base AD, so you get only 3.5 base AD per level instead of 4. So this is directly addressed to Divine Sunra and Trinity Force at the same time, alright? This is like for Divine Sunra. I completely understand this one. Q bonus AD ratio goes down from 50 to 45%. This is because his Q is, I don't want to say broken, but they are trying to nerf his Q because you can use Q so many times in a fight, right? So if you have your decoy next to you, each auto attack of you and your decoy will reduce the cooldown of your Q. So you could basically spam your Q in these fights so many times. And this is what they are trying to address here. In a wrong way, in my opinion. But we're gonna talk about my opinion at the end of this video, okay? I'm gonna sum this all up and tell you my opinion about that. So this is what they are trying to do here, okay? Q nerf, because Q is too broken. Yeah, too broken. And this one over here, the first part, is for Divine Sunra and the Trinity Force. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So if you go on League of Legends fandom.com, you can read the passive of these items. And it says over here, guys, after using an ability, your next basic attack within 10 seconds deal 12% of target's maximum health as bonus physical damage on it. So this is the buff to Divine Sunra, right? 12%. It went up from 10% to 12%. All right. So then it says over here, and this is the part where the nerf kicks in, with a minimum damage equal to 150% base AD and a maximum damage against monsters equal 250% base AD. So basically this one over here is the most important part. 150% base AD you do with your Q. After using an ability, your next attack will do 150% base AD. So that means the lower your base AD is, the less damage you do. And the higher your base AD is, the more damage you do with this item. So this is directly addressed to Divine Sunra. So this is the first part over here. AD per level 4 goes down to 3.5 because of that, because of the 150% base AD. This is what they're trying to nerf here. The same thing applies to Trinity Force, because over here we got this one, the passage over here. It says after using an ability, your next basic attack within 10 seconds deal 200% base AD bonus physical damage. So again, we got base AD over here. So they basically nerfing your damage combined with Trinity Force and Divine Sundra. This is what they did over here, alright? This is really important to understand because the lower your base AD, the less damage you will do with these items. Alright, so this is what they lowered over here. This is what they did. So this is one over here, has nothing to do with these items, really. Is only because of, I think, only because of Q being broken, because you can spam Q so many times during a team fight, because of the cooldown reduction you get from each hit. Alright, so now we're gonna dive deep into the numbers, because this sounds maybe a little bit too much for you. But if you compare the numbers, guys, if you compare the numbers with other champions, with other bruisers, you will see that we had a really high base AD. And let's compare the numbers, okay? Wukong starts with 68 base AD. Until on level 18, you can see it over here, right? 136. So if you compare that with Darius, we are stronger in the early. We are the same like Jax in the early. We are the same like Fiora in the early. We are stronger than Riven in the early. He's the highest. 69 in the early. 68 Ilaoi in the early. 66 Garen. We were higher than Garen. 60 Aatrox has the lowest. 60 only in the early. And Irelia 65. So we were one of the champions with the highest base AD at the beginning. Alright. It goes down then on level 18 during the game, because basically Wukong becomes a spinning meatball in the late game, only because of the team fight and all that juicy stuff. So this is what you can see if you compare these numbers together, okay? So you can see, to sum this up over here, you can see that Wukong had a really high base damage in the early. In general, he had a really high base damage. And now it will go down, all right? So to be fair, we were one of the best. So now it will go down a little bit, but it will be not too much. And it's only fair if you compare it with the other. All right, let's talk about the Q nerfs damage-wise. So it went down from 50 to 45%. What does that mean? I'm gonna show you that, guys. So you have over here, if I buy one longsword, all right, with only one longsword, you can see the numbers over here on the Q. Of course, the more AD you build, the nerf will be more significant. Alright, so if you build full AD, the nerf will kick in. Alright, the nerf will be more significant than if you build Wukong as a bruiser. So you can see over here, only one longsword. If I buy only one longsword, you will see that the nerf does nothing. So on level 1, Q on level 1, pre-nerf, right now, how it is right now, it will give you 28 damage. After the nerf, it will be 27. On level 2, it will be 53. After the nerf, it will be 52. Right now, 78 on level 3, 77 after the nerf. 103 right now, 102 after the nerf, and so on. Level 5, if you max Q, it will be 128 right now, and after the nerf it will be 127. So it only goes down by 1 AD, all right, by 1 damage. You can see, yeah, it's always just 1. So if you compare this with a full build, and what I used here is the typical bruiser items, all right, like Divine Sundra, Sterex Gauge, Death Dance, typical bruiser build, typical bruiser core. With 5 items, all right, boost and 5 items. Right now, the same items pre and post nerf. You can see that the Q has 138 damage on level 1. So first point into Q will give you 138 damage with full build, with the full build. After the nerf, it will be though 126. Level 2, it will be 163. 151 after nerf, 188 pre-nerf, 176 post-nerf, 213 pre-nerf, 201 post-nerf, 238 pre-nerf, and 226 post-nerf. So what it can do is it will go down only by 12 AD. So only 12 AD, guys, we will lose out of this nerf. Out of this nerf over here, we're gonna lose 12 AD when it goes down from 50 to 45%. Of course, these numbers over here will be even lower because you never have full build on level 1Q, right? So, but we did it to just see how much we lose, okay? I just wanted to show you how much we lose. So it's not significant, right? 12 AD we lose on all ranks if we start with the full build, guys. It will be lower over here because in the early you have only one longsword. So in the early it will be like you lose 1 AD, and later on it will be a little bit more, 5 AD maybe. Yeah. And if you are full build, you will lose only 12 AD, guys. Only 12 in total. So if we rock Trinity or Divine and compare the stats now because of this part over here, yeah, because of this over here, if we rock Trinity Force, pre-nerf, if I only auto attack, because with Trinity Force you can stack up your damage by 5 times, alright? Pre-nerf it will be like that, 248. Post-nerf you can see 216. Alright, it's a little bit higher. It's a little bit higher. 32 AD we lose, alright, with Trinity Force. If we compare this with Divine, pre-nerf, when I Q someone with 1k HP, I will do 204 damage, like it is right now. And after the nerf though, I will be doing 191 damage. So again, it's nothing really significant over here, guys. So you can see the numbers are not that high. A lot of you freaked out because of that nerf, but to be honest, I take that nerf because I thought they're gonna come up with some hard ass nerfs, guys, and they only came up with this, and I was like, when I saw this, I was like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, what is that, dude? I'm so happy because of that. I'm so happy that if they don't touch him anymore, I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with that. All right, everybody. So let's sum this up, and I'm gonna give you my opinion on all of that. These nerfs are not addressing Wukong's issues. They are only nerfing his damage from mid-game till late game. So his early will be not affected because of these nerfs. Very important. But one issue with Wukong is his strong early, especially against AD enemies. Alright. So what you do if you arrive on the lane is very simple. You just E on the target, and because of your attack speed, you will apply more auto attacks than your enemy can. With these attacks you do, you will stack up your armor, so you will take less damage than the enemy can, and you will stack up your health regen, so you will regen some health. All right. So this is really toxic to deal with. On level 2, you will get your Q, and you can just engage on the target again and apply the auto to apply your Q and lower the cooldown per auto attack. So each auto attack will lower the cooldown, and you can use your Q more and many times more often than the enemy can use his abilities. So this is really toxic to deal with. It goes on like that. On level 4, it's really disgusting because of you get your clone, and level 4 is really strong. Level 2 Q is really strong. This is why. So it gets even worse on level 6. All right. So this one over here, before we dive into level 6 though, before we talk about that, strong early, especially against AD. So I ask you guys, do they address with these nerfs that they came up with, do they address this issue? No, they definitely not. All right. So they just nerfed the bonus AD ratio on Q, which will not affect the early. So his Q will be still strong on the laning phase in the early from minute whatever, from minute 2 until minute 7 or something like that, will be still strong. His base AD will be still strong. So they are not addressing this issue over here. Also, what is really disgusting is his power spike at level 6. Once he hits level 6, once you hit level 6 as Wukong, you can just one-shot the top lane, all right? If it's a bruiser or whatever, even if it's a tank, you can just one-shot, if you combo correctly, of course, you can one-shot the enemy top laner, all right? You can just 100 to 0 him in just like few seconds with your combo, with your double knock-up and all that juicy stuff you have with Wukong. So it's really easy. It's really annoying to deal with though. And do they address with these nerfs this issue over here? No, they don't. They don't, all right? Then another thing, what is really toxic to deal with is his double knock-up. So listen guys, Wukong's damage is only good on the laning phase till level 6, 7, 8, 9, but then that is, okay, that's it, all right? He falls behind later on. And you don't win fights, you don't win team fights, or in general, you don't win games because of his damage, all right? You don't win games because of damage, you win games because of his double knockup, because of his utility. So what I mean is right here, I'm just gonna try to make it clear over here. What I like to do as Wukong because of his double knockup is the following, okay? So let's say this is the enemy team over here, all right? This is the enemy team and we got someone who is about to engage on us. It can be Zek, it can be whatever. It can be someone who engages on us, all right? A tank or something. This is my enemy, this is my team over here and this is me. All right, and over here we got my clone. We're just gonna keep him over here. So what I like to do as Wukong, and what is really effective as Wukong, is if they engage on us, if they decide to engage on my team, what I do is I ignore this guy over here and dive into their backline. So these people over here, my team will deal with this guy while I dive into their backline. And what I do is I apply my combo on the squishies, press Alt. And why I press Alt, I just decoy out of that situation. So what I do is I back up, leave my decoy over here. All right, leave my decoy over here. Go back to the guy who just engaged on us and knock him up as well. And my decoy will knock them up again. So I will be knocking up their backline 2 times in a row and knock up the enemy who just engaged on us to buy my team some time to deal with this guy over here and to kill him. So that will put the enemy team into a situation where they have to face us with only 4 members because they had to deal with my clone over here, because of course they have to figure out, is this the clone? They're gonna auto attack him, it will take some time until they can join this guy over here. All right, so they have to deal first with this guy over here because my decoy is just gonna knock him up again, and they will auto attack it. Will maybe throw some CC on it, you know, and until they finish the decoy, we finish this guy over here. All right, so his double knockup is so good to turn around games, to win these team fights, and this is what is causing his high win ratio. Okay, this is what is causing it. So then the question is, are these nerfs that Riot is going to come up with, are these nerfs are addressing this issue? No, they don't. They don't. All right. So then Wukong has too much utility. And what I mean by this is his whole kit is just stuffed with so many things. So you got Invis, you got a double knockup, you got cooldown reduction on his Q per auto attack. You got double dash, you got attack speed. You got stacking armor, you got stacking health regen, you got so many things on Wukong that you can use, which is cool, you know. I like it, of course, as a Wukong player, but it's really annoying to deal with though. All right, so on the lane you can use your invis, you can just dash double, you can just dash 2 times and all that stuff you can do with Wukong. This is just simply too much utility, guys. This is too much. This is just too much. And the question again is here, are they addressing with these nerfs this issue over here, the utility, the too much utility? No, they don't. They don't. So this is what is causing over here, these 4 points, this is what is causing his win ratio, his high win ratio. And if Riot wants to address this and nerf his win ratio, they have to do something over here. All right, nerfing his damage will do nothing. Will just simply do nothing, especially if they are nerfing his late game damage. It will do nothing because these 4 points over here are the big issue about Wukong. His early is too strong on the lane and too annoying to deal with, and they have to nerf the early if they want to nerf something, if they want to address the win ratio. All right, this is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying they should do it. What I'm saying is, if they want to bring down the win ratio, this is what they have to do. They have to fix these 4 points over here. So in like generally speaking, guys, what I suggest is to just rework Wukong. This is what I suggest. It is really, I don't know if you ever faced Wukong, if you had to deal with Wukong, but I did, and it's really, even though I'm a Wukong main, it is really annoying to deal with Wukong, okay? It is really annoying. He's so strong in the early. His double knockup is toxic as fuck. And what I'm suggesting is to rework Wukong, because this version of Wukong is, it feels like they just did something, they just threw something in there and that's it. They have to rework this Wukong. They have to give him a proper rework, a rework that takes more time, where they have to think about more stuff, because it feels like Riot August just came up. He was like, okay, we have to rework Wukong, let's do this, and that's it. It feels like they did no investigations, nothing at all. They just came up with these random things, threw some utility in there, some double knockup, and yeah. This is how it feels like. But if they want to address the issue with Wukong and make him a good champion, they have to give him a proper rework, a real rework, you know, and not throw something in there like Riot August did with these things, okay? Like double dash and double knockup and all these things. This is not the way. And his win ratio will stay high, guys. These nerfs mean nothing. I can tell you that already. Maybe his win ratio is going to go down by 1%. And that's it. All right. So these are addressing only the late game, from mid game till late game. It's not going to affect the early game. It will be still the same thing. It will affect some damage on Divine and Trinity, but it's not significant. It's absolutely not significant. I don't know what the balance team is smoking, but you guys can leave me your thoughts in the comment section, guys. What do you think about these nerfs? Am I right or am I wrong? Tell me in the comment section. Am I being stupid here for what I'm saying? Please go ahead and tell me that in the comment section. I would like to read from you guys. And with that being said, hopefully I took some fear from you guys. Hopefully we will still be confident enough to play this champion, because as I said many times before in this video, these nerfs are not significant. They're not going to do anything. You can still play the monkey as you want to play him. He will be still good. All right, because as I said, the balance team is smoking something and not addressing really the issues that Wukong has. All right, guys, your opinion in the comment section. I'm waiting for it. Yeah. I guys have a wonderful day. Peace.